Okay, we're going to get started with the Lago Resort and Casino. Can you introduce yourself and your panel, please?
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to address the board. Good morning. My name is Ron McGreevy. I am the Tyre Town Supervisor, and I am proud to have served the town of Tyre in a number of official capacities for over 23 years. As excited as I am to kick off this presentation for the Lago Resort and Casino, I'm even more excited about the extraordinary economic boost Lago will be for Tyre, Seneca County, and the entire Finger Lakes region. I know that you have some very serious deliberations in front of you. My colleagues and I on the Tyre Town Board have spent the last 8 months seriously deliberating about this project as well. After looking at it every imaginable way, we have repeatedly and unanimously endorsed it with the overwhelming support of the residents of Tyre. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the man whose vision has brought me here today, Tom Wilmot Sr.
Thank you, Ron. Good morning. I'm Tom Wilmot, Chairman of Wilmright and a partner in the Lago Resort and Casino. I'd like to thank the Sitting Board for taking the time to entertain our proposal today. Today we'll introduce you to Lago's experienced team of professionals who have guided the project. Lago was not created in a vacuum. Rather, we've been working with local residents, businesses, and organizations to build the best possible development for the region. We have updated the project and selected partners with outstanding proven success with casinos and markets very similar to this one. I'm happy to report that we have a project that not only fits the region, but helps chart a course for a brighter economic future in the Finger Lakes. With help from Brett Stevens, Jonathan Swain, Anthony Murphy, and Nick Farrar from TMG, we'll show you that the future looks like with Lago and some of Lago's local partnerships, which are a very important part of the development and its significant outcomes for New York State. Lago Resort and Casino is located in the town of Tyre, Seneca County, in the heart of the Finger Lakes regions, just steps away from exit 41 of the New York State Thruway. The development at this location fits Tyre's master plan for economic development and has minimal negative impacts. The $425 million development received unanimous support from the town of Tyre, plus we have unanimous support from the county of Seneca, Seneca town boards of Covert, Lodi, Seneca Falls, Varick, Waterloo, and 2 surrounding counties. Lago Resort and our partners are uniquely qualified to deliver year-round economic activity to the Finger Lakes. Certainly our partners and I think that building a $420 million resort and casino in Seneca County makes sense from a business perspective. We obviously wouldn't be here today if we didn't think this was going to work. But the Finger Lakes region is my home, my family's home. For generations past and hopefully for generations future, we'll be in the upstate area and the Finger Lakes. We are committed to New York State, to upstate New York, and particularly this wonderful region, which one of the state's forgotten treasures. I'd like now just to give you a little bit about history, more of Wilmright. There's more information in our application. Wilmright was founded in 1940 at the Rochester Airport by my father. We've been in business for over 70 years. The 3rd generation is now active in the company, and we've successfully developed many properties in 7 states, but with particular emphasis here in New York and the Finger Lakes region. The attached slide shows you 4 properties located in the Rochester Finger Lakes area. These properties have recently underwent major renovations and expansion, costing well in excess of $100 million. We have a strong commitment to keeping our properties updated to meet the needs of our customers, as do our partners, Peninsula Pacific. The above properties provide thousands of jobs within the host communities and have generated hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenues for the host communities and New York State. It's now my pleasure to have Tom Wilmot come up and give you more details about the Lago Resort.
I'm Tom Wilmot Jr. He's Tom Wilmot. I'm a third Wilmot generation member of Wilmerite. Lago is the most significant and exciting project we've been involved in during my tenure. As such, we took selecting our partners very serious for this development. I would like to introduce you to our Lago partners, Peninsula Pacific and J&B Gaming, the investment and management entities that founded and built Peninsula Gaming, a company that developed 4 hugely successful regional casinos in 3 different jurisdictions. Brent Stevens, Jonathan Swain, and Natalie Schramm were the owners and operators responsible for the company's success and ultimately led to its sale to Boyd Gaming in November of 2012. Combined, they have more than 5 decades of casino operations experience. Their track record as developers, operators, and owners of casino facilities around the country is why we're very pleased to have them as part of our team. This $425 million development will be a first-class attraction in the heart of a world-class destination, the Finger Lakes. Lago Casino and Resort will attract more than 3.4 million visitors annually. It's estimated that 340,000 of these visitors will be from outside of New York State. Lago will also attract thousands of New Yorkers from all over the state that were previously spending their money at casinos outside of New York. What do all these visitors mean for the Finger Lakes? More hotel rooms sold, more shoppers shopping, more tourist spending in Seneca County, creating quality jobs and a stronger regional economy. Lago has and is taking the necessary steps to be under construction within 1 week of being granted the license. Our CEQA process is completed and approved. We have an approved development plan, site plan, host community agreement, and unanimous resolutions of support from our host town and county boards. All financing commitments are in place. In fact, site plans were completed on August 12th and sent out for bids that are due tomorrow. We have similarly accelerated all portions of our construction schedule and will be in a position to award the concrete, steel, and mechanical work prior to November 1st. We have undertaken all this so we can break ground 1 week after receiving the license. Additionally, we are striving to achieve LED Gold certification, as well as exceeding the RFA's requirement that applicants use 10% renewable energy. Lago's achieving these 2 goals by buying energy from a local farm that turns manure into electricity, as well as utilizing solar panels on the facility that will generate combined 15% of Lago's total energy consumption. A PLA has been entered into with the Finger Lakes Building Trade Council and all 19 of its affiliated labor unions, guaranteeing the employment of local tradespeople and the efficient, safe, and timely construction completion of the project. Additionally, Lago has entered into a labor peace agreement with Workers United. This development will create 1,800 well-paying construction jobs. $923 million. Lago, local governments, and the state of New York are expected to receive distributions from Lago totaling $923 million over the first 10 years of operations. That adds up to a huge win for the region and all residents of New York. I'd now like to take a minute and ask you to watch a video we have here about the Finger Lakes and what Lago means to the region. usually works.
The beautiful Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, where for decades people from near and far have come to bask in her majestic beauty and enjoy an experience as diverse as any in the country. With more than 135 museums, 400 registered historic sites and landmarks, 100 restaurants with waterside views, 160 golf courses, 650 miles of shoreline, over 50 farmers markets, and the more than 100 award-winning wineries that in total have an economic impact to the state of over $4 billion. The Finger Lakes region of New York State attracts millions of visitors each year. However, it's a lack of world-class accommodations that prevents it from being even bigger. That is, until now. Lago is the vision of the Wilmot family, who for generations have been a long-standing developer in upstate New York.
We believe in the Wilmot's vision. They are local. This is their home. Lago is what the Finger Lakes region needs to grow the market. This project isn't designed to cannibalize other gaming operators. Far to the contrary, it's designed to grow the region. Lago's impact will be accretive and benefit everyone.
This area needs this project because it is such a unique attraction to the region. People don't understand how big an opportunity this is to expand our economy. This is what the expanded gaming licenses were meant to do for our local economies outside of New York City. The Finger Lakes wine region is bigger than Napa, and people don't know it.
This $425 million private investment project will house a spectacular 207-room luxury hotel, rejuvenating spa, convenient covered parking with easy access to the New York State Thruway and Route 414, and will be perfectly situated between Rochester, Syracuse, and All Points South. Lago will be a state-of-the-art entertainment venue with a world-class casino featuring 85 table games and 2,000 slot machines, supported by a variety of fine and casual dining restaurants that source goods locally and are designed to celebrate the region.
One of the project's most unique attractions will be the marketplace that showcases a variety of goods that are produced in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York.
This market caters to nearly 3.5 million visitors a year. That makes us the third most visited region in New York State. We need the type of accommodations that Lago will provide. Accommodations and amenities to attract a new kind of visitor to the region.
This project will create construction jobs and permanent jobs with an estimated nearly $1 billion in direct distributions to the host municipalities in the state of New York in the first decade of operations. That's huge. That's growing a region.
The average visitor to this region spends around $500 a day. We believe they would enjoy spending more with an expanded experience. This isn't a retrofit of a current facility. This is new, never done before in our region, and that is what will generate great press, attract new visitors, and garner repeat visitation and loyalty for years to come.
Lago is Italian for lake, and hence the inspiration for Lago comes from one of the hottest tourism destinations in the world, the Puglia region of Italy. Lago's design is captivating, unique, and an homage to the agriculture in the region. Lago was designed by the Las Vegas-based Friedmother Group, one of the most experiential design and architectural firms with projects that have redefined regions.
Wilma Wright and the Wilmot family have made many major contributions to a variety of organizations in our region.
Our family are the developers of Lago, and for over 2 generations have played a defining role in the growth of the Finger Lakes region. Our contributions to the economic development of the area, our philanthropic endeavors, and good corporate citizenship have left a positive mark on the region in which we live and serve. We provided funding for the Wilmot Cancer Center, as well as Syracuse University, the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester, the University of Rochester, RIT, Nazareth College of Rochester, and the L. Siegel Center, to name a few. Upstate New York is our home, and nothing would make us prouder than to have the opportunity to bring the vision of Lago to upstate New York, to help it grow and prosper, and to share in the beauty of the Finger Lakes and all that it has to offer to an expanded base of visitors to our area.
This is the project that upstate New York needs to grow the economy. Lago will generate $80 million in annual taxes for the state of New York, far more than the other 2 proposed casinos.
Lago is the biggest project proposal for this region. The total investment will exceed $425 million, more than double proposed by either of our competitors, and every dollar is new investment, new construction, and new facilities, and new jobs for Seneca County.
This project and proposal, including the host community agreement, has received unanimous approval by the Tyre Town Board. Let's move to rebuild and grow this economy.
There is only one proposed project that will increase tourism and dramatically grow the regional economy in the Finger Lakes, and that's
Lago.
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 With more jobs and a significantly larger payroll than its competitors, I'm very excited that the Lago project will provide greater benefits to the residents in the region and do much more to strengthen the regional economy.
That's right, Lago.
I would now like to invite Mr. Brent Stevens to tell you a little bit more about Lago and this exciting opportunity.
Thank you very much, Tom. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Siting Board. My name is Brent Stevens. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of Peninsula Pacific. We're delighted to be here with you today as partners of the Wilmot family to present to you Lago. For the balance of the presentation, we'll walk you through the numbers. We'll then have our outside market consultant provide their view of the market and its growth and the economic implications of Lago. We will also present a truly new experience for our customers at Lago by presenting to you our property and our approach. By way of background, I started my career at Jefferies & Company in the investment banking business. Jefferies is a New York-based financial firm. I retired from Jefferies in 2011 as the head of capital markets for the firm and was a member of the executive committee and played a pivotal role in our firm's growth during those years. We grew our firm by being patient, not overreaching, taking undue risk, and finally we grew by investing in the resource we thought was most precious, our people. Similarly, in 1999, I founded Peninsula Gaming. Thank you. If you would, please allow me to provide some background on Peninsula, as we believe it's particularly relevant for you in evaluating our application for Lago. At Peninsula, we developed and operated casinos in 3 jurisdictions: Iowa, Kansas, and Louisiana. From our first acquisition in 1999 until its sale in 2012, Peninsula was at the forefront of some of the most important and successful greenfield properties in the gaming industry, developing 4 casinos and acquiring 1 over a 13-year period of time. And with more than 2,500 employees, Peninsula became recognized by Inc. magazine as the fastest-growing privately held casino company in 2011. And in November of 2012, we sold our properties to Boyd Gaming Corporation for $1.5 billion. After the sale to Boyd, my partners and I formed 2 companies. Peninsula Pacific is our investment vehicle and the financial partner to the Wilmot family. Our management company is J&B Gaming. The leadership group from Peninsula Gaming, Jonathan, Natalie, and myself, have more than 5 decades of combined industry experience, and we will continue on the proven strategy for funding, developing, and operating casino properties that deliver significant positive economic impact to the regional economy and the great state of New York. Slide. We're very proud of what we created at Peninsula and believe that the results simply speak for themselves. We began very modestly in 1999, and by 2012, we had grown our revenue and our profitability enormously and delivered among the best results to all of our stakeholders: our banks, our bondholders, the local communities in which we did business, and of course, our shareholders. Our shareholders invested with us at $6 a share in 1999, and after we sold to Boyd, they received $365 per share, a compound annual growth rate of 37% per year over those 13 years. So how did we do it? Well, we focused on the most important person in the room, the customer. We then delivered on our core values of providing world-class service, impeccable quality, and we addressed the needs of the community in which we did business. We invested in our people. We trained them, we provided them a sense of connectivity with our success and our growth, and we gave them opportunities to grow within our company. And finally, we were very, very patient, and we never took on too much financial leverage. As I mentioned, we've built 4 casino developments, each one built to the right size of the particular local community that we came into. We are not afraid of turning raw land like this in a small, little-known town in rural Kansas into something like this: a thriving economic engine, a base of local employment, and a symbol of civic pride for all participants. This is the Kansas Star, a $350 million project, the most recent casino development which our leadership team designed and built, and is the top performing casino property in the state of Kansas, far exceeding the results from properties in well-known other cities within the Kansas market. And while each of our casino developments have been thoughtfully designed to fit each particular market, none of them, from a design perspective, fit the same mold, and yet all were extremely successful. We develop with the right amenities, which complement what exists in the region and adds to the existing tourism base. We develop in underserved gaming markets. We create a unique and highly efficient marketing mix and database management system, which will make the property a year-round destination. And finally, we generate strong economic activity by providing benefits to the region and to the state's economy. Lago will be our 5th greenfield development as a team. We have and will continue to employ the same discipline and philosophy into Lago as we did in all of our previous properties. It will be conservatively capitalized. It will be at the cutting edge of the customer experience, as Jonathan will present to you here in a few moments, and will be able to continue to respond to the evolving customer demands. This is clearly the most exciting project that we've developed to date. So let's look at the numbers. Lago is a $425 million project, which includes the $50 million license fee and $300 million of construction costs and equipment. The $425 million will be funded through $90 million of equity from the Wilmot family, Peninsula Pacific, and our investment partners, as well as a $335 million fully committed bank facility by Credit Suisse. All of these amounts are fully committed and are well within the means of these capital providers. To date, we've spent $5 million. We'll spend another $3 million over the course of the next 45 days. We are, as we've indicated, shovel-ready, and if we are fortunate enough to be awarded the gaming license, we begin construction immediately, and we would be open in January of 2016. Next to our operating metrics. As you'll hear in a moment, our independent market studies by TMG indicate annual gaming revenue of $263 million in the first full year of stabilized operation, which will generate $77 million of EBITDA, or a 29% EBITDA margin. This margin is in line with the margins that we have achieved at all of our previous properties, if not a little more conservative. At $77 million of EBITDA, our property will be levered 4.4 times, which compares very favorably to the regional gaming average of 6.5 times. Why that is important is this will result in a project that will have plenty of operating flexibility, the ability to service and repay all of our obligations, reinvest in the property, and to respond to the ever-changing needs of the customer. Okay, earlier I mentioned our core values of service, quality, and community. For us, it all begins with service. When a customer makes a decision to visit Lago for the first time, we believe that it is crucial to our success that from the moment the customer arrives to the moment that that visit concludes, he or she is not only shown a physical environment that strikes the imagination, but that he's met with world-class customer service. And service is all about people. There will be 1,860 direct and indirect jobs created if we are awarded this license. We will provide great benefits and compensation, but more importantly, we'll provide an opportunity to grow and to be trained in one of the most exciting industries today. We're committed to having a workforce during both construction and operations that's as diverse as upstate New York. We will ensure that Lago's employment, as well as that of our contractors, will provide significant opportunities for minorities, women, veterans, and people with disabilities. And it's not just employment. We intend to do a significant portion of our purchasing and contracting with minority-owned, women-owned firms, as well as firms that focus on hiring veterans and people with disabilities. It's the right thing to do for New York, and it's absolutely the right thing to do for Lago. We'll partner with the Workforce Investment Board and the Finger Lakes Community College for identifying candidates and for providing team members training well before we open. Most of the jobs at Lago will not require casino experience. Working with the Workforce Investment Board, Lago will help underemployed, long-term unemployed, and others find their career path at our property and within our company. The WIB and Finger Lakes Community College will host pre-training curriculum, and our comprehensive training program will ensure service standards, safety, and customer satisfaction. Separately, Finger Lakes Community College will host table game dealer schools and mid-level management training programs. We're very excited about teaming up with the WIB and Finger Lakes Community College and seeing the positive effect that proper training, great service, and corporate pride can have on our employees' lives. Proper training provides a sense of empowerment and pride, critical elements to a friendly environment, and great customer service. Also, we know that when we promote from within, provide exceptional customer service and great training, it enhances the work environment and creates peace of mind and provides not only great jobs, but long-term careers at Lago. More than just training, we know that many of our employees have young and growing families and that child care is extremely important to providing that very same peace of mind that we're looking for. So at Lago, and as part of our budget, we will build an employee daycare facility and have teamed up with Bright Horizons, a respected leader in the child care services industry, to provide our employees on-site daycare for those who choose to have it. Now turning to need. The question of need for Seneca County. Many who are not from the area have an often incorrect perception that the Finger Lakes region and its residents are clinking wine glasses at wineries and otherwise simply living the good life. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. Seneca County, with flat population growth over the last 5 years, has a significantly lower per capita income than the residents of Broome and Tioga counties. Seneca's poverty rate, while slightly lower than Broome's, is higher than Tioga's and has a comparable unemployment rate. Seneca County is indeed economically distressed and in an area that can greatly benefit from Lago's capital contribution to the local economy. After our capital investment of $425 million, we'll have an ongoing payroll of approximately $50 million in our first full year of operations. And while we do not know what others are saying in their various applications, we're confident that the newly created payroll at Lago, should we win, will far exceed that of the competition in this process. I'd like to make one last comment about capital investment and the regional gaming industry before we turn it over to our market research people from TMG. We believe that much of the recent news of anemic growth in the regional gaming economy and industry is not due to simply a question of supply, but rather it's because the industry, in fact, has been slow to respond to the changes of the customer, what they want, and how their needs have changed over time. The analogy that I would give you is imagine that one steakhouse in your hometown. It's the only restaurant, but it serves the same steak from the same menu in the same decor over and over. Eventually, you're going to visit that steakhouse a little less frequently. Revenue growth will ultimately flatten in any business that does that. And in an industry that needs the consumer's discretionary wallet in order to grow, you have to evolve with the customer. We actually believe that this is a tremendously great moment in the regional gaming economy to address the evolved needs of the customer, and in particular in the Finger Lakes Southern region, specifically at Lago. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. In the Sioux City, Iowa market, there was one existing casino that had been in business for many years and had not invested any meaningful capital over a long, long period of time to meet the customer's changing demands. Revenue ultimately reflected a tired customer. In 2013, the Iowa Racing Gaming Commission awarded a new license to an operator that was willing to make the required investment to create real excitement for the customer and, more importantly, real growth for the industry. In August of this year, the Hard Rock Sioux City opened, generating, we put here 65, the actual number is 75% increase in year-over-year gross gaming revenue, while all the other participants in the state generally grew. Clearly proof that the customer exists, but was simply interested in more than just the same steak at the same restaurant. Peninsula Pacific is a major investor in the Hard Rock Sioux City, and we are very excited about its future and the future of this industry. Lago is the same. We believe that because of its location, its size, and its attraction, Lago is best suited to capture and maximize gross gaming revenue for the state of New York. And we believe that this investment is exactly what the industry and the region need at this moment. So I'd like to introduce TMG. TMG is a New Orleans-based market consulting firm which has been in the business for over 30 years. They've worked with the biggest names in the industry, and their analyses have proven accurate in markets time and time again across all of the United States. It's my pleasure to introduce Anthony Mumphrey. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent. Members of the board, thank you for having us here today. My name is Anthony Mumphrey, and I'm a principal at TMG Consulting. Our firm was founded over 30 years ago, and we provide services to public entities, including airports, other municipal and state agencies, and also to private business and industry. We perform analysis which is data-driven and quantitative. For the past 15 years, we've been studying and analyzing the casino gaming industry. Our team has worked in nearly every gaming jurisdiction in the United States as well as abroad, and TMG clients have included some of the most prominent gaming operators and developers in the world, in addition to state and local governments. Our analyses for the Lago Resort and Casino were led by Suzanne Leckert. She couldn't be here today as she's just given birth to her third child. I'd like to introduce you to Nicholas Ferre, who was our lead analyst on this project. Nick has been with our firm for over 5 years with a focus on the East Coast gaming industry. And he will now speak to the specifics of our study and our projections.
Thank you, Anthony. In our study, we projected that the Lago Resort and Casino should be capable of generating nearly $263 million annually in gross gaming revenues starting in the first year of stabilized operations, 2017. It bears mentioning that 16% of total gaming visits are expected to come from the tourist market. Supporting the development's revenues are the substantial population within a 200-mile area of the site, the visitor population in this area, steady growth in both market population and household income, and growth in New York gaming revenues. In arriving at our projections, we analyzed the regional gaming market, which contains 3.4 million adults of legal gambling age. Note the 30, 60, and 120-minute drive time contours, as well as Lago's proximity to the cities of Syracuse and Rochester. We divided the region into 18 submarkets on the basis of drive time and existing gaming facilities, and we used a state-of-the-art gravity model to assess the casino's potential in this market. We considered demographics such as income and population, and we took into account competition from other casinos, the closest being over 35 miles away. Notably, Canada, which is about 2 hours away by car, would provide some patrons to the casino. Slide, please. Lago is expected to generate significant new gaming revenues in the state of New York, $129.9 million to be precise, and these are revenues that wouldn't occur otherwise. These new revenues are projected to come from 3 sources: $37 million in repatriated revenues, which are revenues that would go out of state without Lago, $47.9 million from increased or induced gaming behavior, and $45 million from incremental markets, which include tourists, overnight guests at the hotel, and drive-by visitors. The facility will employ 1,230 full-time equivalent jobs on site, which are expected to create 632 indirect and induced jobs, for a total of 1,862 sustainable jobs in the state of New York. Construction jobs are expected to create, through indirect and induced impacts, a total of 1,988 jobs. Likewise, pre-opening jobs are expected to create a total of 1,857 jobs. The Lago Resort and Casino is expected to have a recurring impact on both local and state tax and fee revenues. Seneca County and other local governments are expected to receive $6.4 million annually in recurring tax and fee revenues, $4.2 million of which would come from mitigation payments to Tyre and Seneca County. Additionally, Tyre, Seneca County, and other local governments in the area would be entitled to 20% of the state's tax on gaming revenues collected from Lago. We expect this local portion to total $15.4 million annually, and that would amount to nearly $22 million a year for local governments from Lago. Finally, on this slide, local government tax and fee revenue impacts from construction and pre-opening are expected to total $6 million. Lago is expected to have a recurring state tax and fee revenue impact of $84 million. Licensing, construction, and pre-opening processes are expected to generate a total of $68 million, $51 million of which would come from gaming-related fees. All totaled, this means nearly $91 million in recurring tax and fee revenue impacts, and another $74.4 million in one-time impacts. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Brent.
So before I turn the presentation over to Jonathan Swain to walk you through the actual experience that we're providing our customers at Lago if we're fortunate enough to be awarded the license, I'd just like to summarize what you've heard so far. Lago is a $425 million project. We offer a very experienced leadership team that has done it before. We believe we are the right project and a great location. We'll have 1,800 new and sustainable jobs, $263 million in gross gaming revenue annually, 130 of which is new revenue, and an opportunity to grow the tax base for the state of New York. As I mentioned earlier, Jonathan, Natalie Schramm, and I have worked together for over a decade building a previous company. I'm very proud to now turn the presentation over to my partner, Jonathan Swain.
Okay, thank you, Brent, and good morning, board members. As Brent said, my name is Jonathan Swain, a partner at JNB Gaming, along with Brent and Natalie Schramm, who's sitting in the front row across from me today. We were partners with Brent in Peninsula Gaming for the last 10 years. I was the Chief Operating Officer, and Natalie is our Chief Financial Officer. Our approach to this development was the same as every other project we undertook over the past decade, and that's first to listen. First, to listen to the community leaders, those who unanimously supported this project. And what did they want? Then listen to the customers and ask them what was missing from this market in the Finger Lakes area. What kind of place did they want to see us build? And they told us. And then we listened to our advisors, and we talked about the enabling legislation that brought us here today. What does the state want? They want us to maximize economic development and impact, create good jobs in a depressed area, minimize the effect on the local host communities, and more than anything, create a regional destination that can stand up to competition and grow the market. Then, and only then, did we start to develop our business plans. And then, and only then, did we start to develop our partnerships with local businesses and our marketing plans. We signed MOUs with construction trades, the operating unions, child care providers, workforce development, all 5 regional theaters. In fact, one that wasn't even our region as required in the RFA. The inspiration for the design came from all that listening and learning. We call it comfortable elegance. We wanted to create a place where everyone feels that they belong. And most importantly, what those customers told us was missing from the market is a true resort experience. Then we gave it the name, Lago. Lago takes its inspiration from the magnificent Finger Lakes. Then we added the flavor of Old World Italy and the masserias of Puglia. A masseria is a main house in the Puglia region where people come together and gather at the end of the day. We capture not just the meaning of the masseria in Lago and what we were creating, but really the essence, and that is to bring people together. Bringing people together, the Finger Lakes and the vineyards and the producers of New York, acting as a gateway and drawing upon and adding to the rich history of tourism that already exists. The vision is simple yet expansive. Is for Lago and Resort to become the centerpiece of the region with partnerships that will attract new visitors and provide a complete entertainment experience. Now let me walk you through the design thinking. After selecting the name and brand, we begin the process of laying out the site, and we start with access. As you can see here, we have fabulous access from the New York Thruway. After exiting from the New York Thruway here, you only travel 900 feet to our driveway. It doesn't get any better than that. Then parking. Crucial to the success of these types of regional gaming is location of parking. When we drive in the driveway, the first thing you'll see is an 800-space covered parking garage with underground valet parking. Then we surrounded the facility with parking all the way around, including our employee parking to the far right of the screen next to our child care facility. Then the casino building itself. We put the casino in the center, of course, and then surround it with amenities. The first two we position are the hotel and our entertainment venue, the Vine. The hotel and spa has its own entrance here, and as you can see, the spa is completely indoors, 10,000 square feet of pools, jacuzzis, fitness center, salon, and treatment room. Perfect after a hard day of touring the vineyards of the Finger Lakes. And on the other side of the casino is the Vine, 1,700-seat entertainment venue. The customers access and exit the Vine directly off the gaming floor in order to maximize revenue and impact of the facility. We have spent a lot of time and work on the Vine, And to merely call it an entertainment venue would be an understatement. We're creating a very flexible entertainment experience with one of those cutting-edge things that Brent talked about.
5-minute warning.
Then we surround the floor with restaurants. Our 275-seat farmers market buffet is here, the Portico Fine Dining and the Vine. And you'll notice right next to our food court is Savor New York. You heard a little bit about that in the video. We're really excited about this because we've partnered with the New York Wine and Culinary Center to bring the food and the chefs and the products of upstate New York directly to our customers in a permanent location inside Vine. And right here at the front of our building is the Responsible Gaming Center. We want to be upfront about responsible gaming, a place 24 hours a day where people can seek information to make sure that gaming stays entertainment. So here's our portfolio of brands. Portico, Centrifugo, the Farmers Market Buffet, the Vine, Savor New York, and Shop New York, which is a shop dedicated 100% to the sale of New York products. We believe a strong group of amenities like this creates impact. The hotel, the spa, and this portfolio that creates what we call the upstate New York experience. I'm going to run through quickly some photographs because I want to show you a video if it works. It's some still photography. This is Portico. I'll take you inside in a minute. It's our high-end restaurant. This is our casino. You can see Savor New York in the background to the left, and it's the Centrifugo in the center. And the Vine, 1,700 seats designed by SMW Theater Designs here in New York City. The furthest seat from the stage is only 90 feet away, 3 stories, cutting edge. And here's a look at Savor New York in the food court area. The demonstration kitchen is on the left. The food court is to the right. 9 venues of retail and restaurants, 600 seats total in our restaurant. Here's our hotel, just over 200 suites. We minimize the size of this in order to create demand for the rest of the hotels in the Finger Lakes. And here's a look at a typical room. And I want to show you the video we created that takes you inside Lago.
Based on our entire team, I'd like to thank the board for your service. We obviously hope that you'll select Lago. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Sure. Thank you very much. I'll start. I have a question. I don't know if it's for Brian or the folks from TMG. In the first two proposals we heard from one of the economic experts, they didn't think the market was there for two casinos right next to each other in the Binghamton area. Do you feel the same if Lago was approved and one of the others in the southern tier were approved? And did your economic models assume that you were the only casino approved in the region, or did it take into consideration the possibility of the approval of something else in the southern tier?
We looked at both, and the impact of Lago on the southern portion of the southern tier was very minimal, as I think one of our earlier presenters also indicated. Yes. So sorry.
And vice versa?
And vice versa, sure.
How do you view the competition with Turning Stone?
How, I'm sorry, the question?
Given the location
Sure.
of Turning Stone, do you believe that you know, that is a significant competitive factor, and are there any differences because of the different regulatory structure of a Indian Nation gaming facility?
Sure. So our model took into account on a broad basis all of these factors. So just to digress, so the way we look at the market in total from sort of top to bottom is that the New York gaming market is about $3.3 billion last year. This region of the New York gaming industry is about $1.4 billion. We are going to create, as we indicated, about $130 million of incremental demand. So the question would be on 263, where's the other 133 coming from? So the 133 sort of breaks down between 40 coming out of Seneca's 800, about 20 coming from Finger Lakes, the rest coming just as a whole basket coming from folks to the east. I would also indicate we actually looked at viability for each one of these. Every one of them remains viable, but being a free market sort of investor, it does require that people will need to respond. We're looking forward to that response. I think it's good for the industry.
I have a similar question, but first, displaying my geographical ignorance. How far is the Lago proposed resort from Binghamton? How far is it from Turning Stone?
It's about 100 miles from Binghamton, and from Turning Stone, what do we have?
I think it was about an hour and a half.
About
An hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes.
An hour and
We are-
15 minutes?
yeah.
So, and that leads me to my financial question.
Sure.
You're predicting in your first year, I think, more than Turning Stone's revenues now exist, and you're wildly higher. I don't mean wild in a pejorative sense, but much, much higher than the Binghamton applicants' revenue projections. How could those things stand side by side? I don't know. I mean, is it the theater that you think is going to, you know, draw all these out-of-state people and many more gamblers than the other two applicants think are drawing, or that Turning Stone is already drawing? Just if you could explain to me your reasoning about why you're going to be so much more attractive than an existing casino or two applicants in the same region.
I'll be happy to give you my opinion, but before I do, why don't I turn it over, Nick, to you?
Yeah, I think a point needs to be made about the location of Lago in comparison to these others. Lago is going to be between Rochester and Syracuse, which are two huge feeder markets in our projection, and it's going to have superior site access compared to a lot of existing facilities. So that alone gives it an advantage in this market.
So it's a great question that we've actually studied a few times and had others study, our friends from TMG's study, and done another one ourselves, and we all come to a range where, frankly, the 263 is the lowest number. You know, the analogy I would also give you is when we went to other markets, for example, Kansas, and it was in the middle of agricultural area in not something completely dissimilar than Tyre. And the numbers that we were given, when you stood there and you looked around at the existing competition to the north and to the south, it was a little tough to actually believe in the gravity models that we were looking at, but I'll tell you, it exceeded it. And it has repeatedly in other projects that we've looked at, and we take this very, very seriously when we analyze these numbers, and we're very comfortable with the 263, at least.
I'd like to have from a drive time perspective that we're going to be half the drive time that the two existing, which I would call Turning Stone and the Seneca properties for a full casino resort experience are. So
From where?
we will be considerably closer to the Rochester market.
Thank you very much. Some housekeeping things, folks. Thank you we're not going to hold against you that you cut into the lunch hour. I'm going to exercise the prerogative of the chair and reduce our lunch hour, and we're going to start the afternoon session promptly at 1:15. The Capitol View Casino and Resort should be ready to go at 1:15, and we thank the morning the presenters for a very fine job. Thank you.
Thank you.